Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another podcast here at Behind the Wheel. My name's Jordan, the founder and CEO of GenPhysio, and we have today Martin, our occupational therapist and emerging clinical supervisor on the podcast today, who's going to be sharing to us all things about community OT and his experiences with us over the last couple of years as an occupational therapist. Really excited to have you on the podcast today, Martin, and welcome.
Yep. Hello, everyone. It's good to see you all. And it's good to see you too, Jordan.
Yeah, so always good to catch up. And Martin's representing from our Melbourne team, and I'm luckily hosting this pod from the Gold Coast. So I'm not sure what the weather's like at the moment down there. How are we holding up?
Melbourne's a little bit slow. I know all the Queenslanders are complaining about the weather being too hot. It's still cold in the mornings, so just have to wait till November when the heat starts picking up.
So you're not getting out in boardies and sun tanning just yet?
Not yet, but no more puffer jackets. But just wearing a jacket, a thin jacket when I'm working with clients.
Nice. Okay, so it's a little bit more workable.
Yeah.
We've both got completely different environments, and I guess they're the challenges that we have to work in as community allied health professionals as well, having the right setup and gear. And I know you love your puffer jacket, and it obviously keeps you warm in those cooler days in Melbourne.
Yep, of course. That's the Melbourne attire.
It is. It's the only way to survive those cold winter months. Get that heater cranking in the car on the way to each client, and hopefully the clients have got working heaters as well in their homes.
Yeah, of course.
And look, really great to get you on the pod today. And I guess my first question would be is occupational therapy. What drew you to be an occupational therapist? What's your earliest memories of learning about OT and wanting to go into this space?
I'll talk a bit about myself. Before doing occupational therapy, I started uni working in biomedical science because I wasn't too sure what career pathway I was heading towards to. So I just knew it was something related to science. So during the final year of biomedical science, I was just looking through allied health or kind of medical pathways, and I found that OT was the most suitable for me just because there's so many things to learn. You do things every day is different, and that's what's driven me to become an OT.
Fantastic. And similar approach to myself, although I was drawn to the physio side, but I was lucky enough to get some clinical or some work experience in year 10 at a couple of local physio clinics here on the Gold Coast. Did you get any opportunity to do some work experience or speak to OTs, or you felt like this is the right pathway to me, or this is something I want to go down?
Yeah, so just based on research, the things OTs do, there's so many areas of function that they cover. So it could be fine motor, gross motor, cognitive, ADLs, activities of daily living, and domestic tasks. So many areas to cover. So I don't get bored of what I do. So, because I tend to get bored very easily, and then I feel like OT helps me stimulate my boredom.
You want to have that broadness around your role and have an ability to make impacts in a client's life with different and a bigger tool set. I have to admit, speaking from a physio, it's great to see working alongside OTs. The side, our toolkits alone are quite vast, but then you compare ourselves to OTs and it's even bigger with different working with clients from all different aspects, from mental health to looking at ADLs to looking at physical function, equipment, prescription. It's just such a fantastic profession to come in within the allied health spectrum to really help our clients in the community from all different angles. So I haven't ever met an OT that has felt bored. So because of the amazing broadness that comes with your profession. So it's great to hear that that's kind of attracted you in. And I know you're a passionate bodybuilder and enthusiast in the fitness space. Before we move forward in the OT, do you want to share with the audience a little bit about yourself in passion for health and your own physical fitness?
So I started gymming during high school, just always inspired by people, bodybuilders like Arnold. So like just trying to be like have like a lot of muscle mass, and just be healthy in general. And then I decided to compete in 2023 when I was a
Yes.
graduate, which was not very smart move, just because of the
Big
dieting,
goal.
just yeah, and then the brain fogs, but like just managed to push through and get on stage. So the next plan is I'm just gonna look at how my physique goes in like end of next year, and then see if I can compete, like see if I'm ready to compete again.
Fantastic. Now, as a passionate person in the world of personal fitness and health, and passionate about all things OT within the community, do you feel that your personal passions in bodybuilding, weightlifting, and strength and conditioning do you feel that's helped you become a more well-rounded OT and helped you with your clients?
Yes, 100%. It's just all about consistency, putting in effort every time, and like training your hardest. So like for exercises for me, I basically train to failure, and then sometimes beyond that. So just do like rest pause sets as well, just to squeeze in every rep. Yeah, so how that reflects with OT is just putting in all your effort consistently, and you know you'll improve over time. And also being self-reflective, so how you would look at your physique, like what areas you need to work on, you can
Mhm.
apply that with OT as well. So like I'm having trouble with this particular client due to their like complex disabilities. What can I do from there? And then you can look for PD research, things like
Yeah,
that, in order to improve yourself.
that's great. So there's quite a bit of cross scope there.
Yeah.
And talking to most allied health professionals, they're quite health and wellness enthusiasts, and it's great to have those skill sets sort of move across from both personal to professional. So my next question to you, I've gone down the road of OT, you've graduated, and what drew you to community? Because that's, as we know, a particular part of a setting that an allied health professional or an OT can work in. What drew you to the world of community OT,
So
especially
like,
what we provide here at
yeah,
GenPhysio,
of
mobile
course.
community only? We love this space. So we're glad to have you in our space. But what drew you to that? It's something new.
Yeah, like 100%. It's building relationships with clients. You get to know them, they get to know me. We have good chats that makes the sessions more enjoyable. Did like placements in like hospitals, mental health facilities, and it's all about discharging clients. So you get to know them for like 1 or 2 weeks, and then off you go. You probably don't see them again. So like all that relationship building you made during those time, it feels like it goes to waste. But when it comes to community, it's over the years you keep building the
Mm.
relationships. You get to know the client more, and the client gets to know you more.
Yeah, I love that. And that's community in a nutshell, right? It's longer term quality relationships with your clients, and you can actually watch them work towards their goals over a longer time period. Whereas in hospital or acute settings, you only got such a short window with your clients. You don't actually get to track them to see if they've met their goals or if they're improving the way that you're wanting them to with your program and your therapy. And community definitely offers that long-term rapport building and relationship with clients. You can follow them along their health journey. So that's great. So that's something that really stood out for you, that you preferred more than the more acute setting with higher turnover of patients or clients, what we call them here.
Sorry, John. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just love community just compared to like the hospital and acute settings. Yeah,
Yeah.
the relationships really goes a long way and makes the job more enjoyable.
Yeah, fantastic. And I guess for the audience, tell us a little bit about what might be a typical day for you as an OT. What does that look like day to day, and what could, say, maybe an OT who's studying at university or someone interested going into OT, what could community OT look like on a day to day?
So in terms like community OT, so it's basically, since it's a mobile service, we do home visits with the client. it really depends on the client's goals. So for example, if it's like ongoing, you just set up for those days within the travel zones, so that you keep visiting them like every like fortnight, for example, for the whole year. That way you can build your relationships as well as achieve their goals. Like there's like functional capacity assessments. So that's when the report writing side of things come, and for us to complete them, which we can complete in our own homes. So what I do is have like home visit days for one day, and then, for example, have one day where I work from home to complete all reports and any like resource development that supports the clients. And like as a emerging clinical supervisor, I have a day where I do clinical supervision meetings with some graduate clinicians, more of like a question answers or like anything that they need. I'll provide them resources and my experience and expertise in that area, and then organizing for PD as well to provide presentations to the OT group. So those are my clinical supervisor days.
So quite, again, broad and definitely not getting bored, helping
Yeah.
clients directly through face-to-face home visits. You're planning out your report writing and support activities, so non-face-to-face billable work, and then also supporting our team as a young clinical supervisor and preparing, I guess, clinical documents and knowledge to support the team. So again, that's good to see that you've definitely kept up that variety with us as well. Challenging part of your day-to-day would be?
So the challenging day is just setting it up for the entire plan. So you have to think about the future of what could happen, because sometimes clients need reports at that specific time. So you gotta have to prepare some space for that. And then like put hold notes. It's important to like put spaces in ahead of like appointments, so there's no miscommunications between clinician and client services. So it's just important to be organized in that area.
So I think the key word you used is organized,
Yeah.
which is that additional challenge we know in community, that planning ahead can really help with getting workloads managed well, meeting clients' expectations, getting reports done on time. But that scheduling and planning process can be a challenge. But when done well, like how you do it, Martin, you can get really good results.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a
Okay.
good balance between all the clients as well, so they're all satisfied and no one gets left out.
Fantastic. So what would be your proudest moment as an OT?
It's just most proudest moments are just seeing the actual improvements you can actually see within the clients that you've worked in the past year. So like working with like some clients with complex disabilities and actually seeing positive functional outcomes out of them, which like gives you like, it shows you that you've done something good for the client, and it's really satisfying. It's a satisfying feeling to feel. Yeah.
To be helping them achieve their
Yeah.
goals. Have you got any client in particular? Just a quick story on an example of a client you've worked with and achieved amazing results with?
So actually, yeah, so I've got like a high needs like individual with autism. So like a level 3 is what
Right.
they call them.
Yes.
Like at the start, the client like had difficulties like following instructions, but now the client's able to do things around the house. So like operate an air fryer, like
Important.
work with the laundry machine. So the client's done so much from what she started with.
So giving back, restoring their independence with their
Yeah.
activities of daily living.
Yeah.
I mean, that is so key, right? When a client can do a task that they weren't able to do prior and getting that independence back, that's the biggest rewarding feeling. And then as a physio myself, certainly have shared those wins before with clients, which is great. And I assume that's not a one-off scenario, that you
Yeah.
have multiple,
Yeah.
I guess, stories or scenarios that you've had with clients that you've able to achieve certain goals or tasks that they may not have thought possible, and getting that rewarding feeling when they get that gain, that's really advantageous.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it's such a rewarding feeling to have.
Fantastic. And when it comes to tools as an OT, what would you say perhaps a piece of equipment or something that you refer to quite often, or something that you've really liked that has gotten good progress with your clients, perhaps like an intervention with a particular tool or equipment? What's something you'd like to share as maybe your top 2 favorite?
Okay, so for pediatrics, Lego therapy is number one. You just
Yeah.
build so many areas of function with the pediatric clients, like with the fine motor, gross motor, cognitive, like problem solving, social communication skills as well, participating in group work. So I've done group work with clients, bring their friends over and then do this Lego therapy session together. That's been very helpful.
Great. Okay. Lego therapy.
Yeah, Lego therapy is like so good for pediatric clients with social
Fantastic.
difficulties, um, and
Engaging,
really
right?
engaging as well. Yeah,
Which is something that you, with pediatrics, is the challenge, the greater challenge, because of the lack
yeah,
of understanding of what we're trying to do here and the
yeah,
bigger goals and outcomes you're trying to achieve.
yeah. And I'm trying to think of another one. So I do some like balance and coordination activities. So things from the bot and then relating it to play activities. So I use like buckets to help them walk around it for their balance, and then like ball catching activities, like their physical side of things. It helps with their coordination as well for their play activities, which carries over to like other areas of play, which is an important stage of a child's like development. So yeah, improve, like just identifying those gaps in their function and then like directing like through play, and then that in turn helps them achieve their overall independence, and then can be carried over to like activities of daily living, for example.
Okay, fantastic. And when it comes to tools and equipment, what would somebody, for a community OT, what are some of the bits of equipment they would, if we open up the boot of your car,
Right, yeah.
outside of Lego therapy, what other sort of bits of equipment that one would be essential for a community OT that you've used?
Oh, okay, so we got Therapody. Therapody is a good one. Got
Yep.
a few of those, like a ball as well, some stacking blocks as well. What other things do we have? We have so many things to list. I can be here all day just listing the stuff, but but I'll just say like a few things just so
Top 10. Can you do the top
top
10?
10. So there's a gross motor die.
Yep.
So that he's got 12 faces with like activities, very engaging. We've got what other things? So like a ball foot as
Yep.
well.
Therapy, we've got the built
There
blocks.
party.
Putting on the spot here.
Yeah, there's so many. We got these what is it called? It's like related to like 9-hole peg tests. So like there's
Okay,
pegs
yep.
and holes.
Yes,
So
yep.
we got those as well. So some assessments as well. The peg 9-hole peg test. We got
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
We got the bot as well.
Yeah.
The bot assessment. We've got what other things? I've got like Pop the Pig as well. So I've got Pop the Pig. That's a pretty good
I've
activity
heard that's
that
a
I
popular
use.
one.
Yeah, it's a good game. So a lot of the kids enjoy putting the burger pieces in the pig. What other ones? We got
Maybe
writing
one
books.
more. Maybe
Writing
one or two
books.
more.
Yeah, writing books, whiteboards, markers, pencils, coloring books.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got all of those for schoolwork related occupations as well.
Great. So, long story short, we've got coming back to that, the broadness that a community OT has keeps you engaged because every day can be different, and all the equipment that can be brought into therapy to work with your clients. So fantastic. And there's probably another 50 there, but
Yeah.
we'll be there all day. But we should just refer to a photo of a car that's
Yeah.
stacked with a whole bunch of equipment. Maybe we could get that going. Fantastic. So perhaps what about beyond the job? So we've talked about bodybuilding. So this and your passion in that space around challenging yourself with a goal and working towards that, regardless of where you're at right now, and particularly, going through uni, which for first year as a new graduate, that's a huge achievement to be even setting that target. Is there anything else that you'd like to share, perhaps a hidden talent side passion, hobby?
My life is very simple. I just work at GenPhysio, go to the gym, like eat and sleep. I sometimes I hang with my friends for a chat. But other than that, like gym has just been my
Big focus.
overall like outside life. Just gives me that stimulation.
Yeah, good. Okay. And maybe when you're on back on the gym topic, is there any pre-workout or supplement, maybe post-workout supplement that you use to help get your gains?
Yeah. So mainly creatine is a good one. Most
Very good one.
research products. Protein powder just to bump the protein up. So if I'm short on protein that day, protein
Okay.
shake's good. It's not
Yeah.
an essential, but it's to help you hit your protein goals. When I'm cutting, I take L-carnitine tartrate.
Yeah.
So
The fat
that is basically
burning.
like a transporter
Yeah.
from fats to your mitochondria for
Mhm.
energy. I don't take any fat burners because they do very little effect, just like a bit of thermogenesis and suppress hunger, which you can
Yeah.
do with just willpower, honestly.
It's hard to do though.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. When you get like very lean, it is very hard. I don't even
Mhm.
think it even works that well. Even if you take a lot of OxyShred, for example. Yeah, so right
Okay.
now, yeah, I'm just doing like a little cut before I go to Japan.
Okay.
So, it was like a 6 week mini cut. Went down 8 kilos. So yeah, I don't
Wow.
like gain
8
too much
kilos
weight when
is
I come back.
10% give or take body weight almost. So
Yeah,
that's not small by any
yeah,
feats. Okay. Great. So passion when it comes to all things gym, bodybuilding, on the supplements, and again translates well into your working life as a community OT here at Gen Physio, which is great. I know I love the gym in there pretty much every morning, in and around the kids, but make it happen. Fantastic. And so we're coming towards the end here, Martin, and it's great to get to know you personally and professionally. Quick fire round. So as a community OT, I'm just going to ask a round of or series of questions that are related to what it's like on the road. So
yep.
we'll kick that off. What's your go-to lunch on the road? So what would
Uh,
you, is there
yeah,
some food that you take, or is there a cafe, or you're a Nando's guy? I know we've had Nando's together many
yeah.
couple years ago now, but what's your go-to on a regular? What's your main meal on
So
the day on the road?
do you want specific orders as well?
Specific order. What's your favorite? If you had the opportunity to say, "Hey, Jordan, Gen Physio's covering my lunch," where would you go, or what would you do?
So I usually do three places.
So top
So
one, top
if
one.
oh, so there's Nando's, quarter chicken, rice, spicy rice, and like
Oh,
a sugar-free drink.
nice.
GYG is just like
Okay,
a chicken burrito bowl with no corn chips,
okay.
and then add spicy ground beef. And then if I'm really short on time, I get like a protein shake from Coles, and then 7-Eleven, there's onigiris.
Okay.
Do you know those onigiris, those triangular rice things?
I don't know. Sounds healthy.
Yeah, so it's pretty cheap. So it's like two for 6.50. So
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
so those are the three.
Okay. Top three.
Yeah,
Coffee order. What's your favorite coffee order?
long black.
Long black. Good man. That's the exact same as me. Get the flavor without the calories.
Yep.
What's your favorite podcast or playlist? What do you normally listen to, or what's your go-to right now when you're on the road?
I just listen to SoundCloud tracks. So like music mainly.
Anything in particular? Any genre or any
Uh,
artist?
so
Wow. Geez, you don't need the pre-workout.
yeah,
You got
yeah,
the that will keep you pumped in between clients. You'll
yeah,
be on
that's
the
it.
ball. Okay, fantastic. And what would be a phrase you might say out on the road? Is there a phrase you say often when you're driving in between clients?
Not really. I don't really say much during because there's no one to talk to. So just driving, probably bob my head a bit to the music.
So you're bobbing head to the
That's probably my
electric
go-to
EDM
phrase.
trance. Fantastic. Well, that's good. No need to talk. Dialed in to the beats. Fantastic. And last one, what would be your dream road trip destination? So as clinicians and as an allied health business on the road each and every day, rather than going to see clients, where would be the dream road trip destination for you anywhere in the world? What would it be? What would
Road
you do?
trip around. I'd like to go Japan, but I want to do like a whole cycle of Australia, that coastal route. So just go all
Yeah.
around. That's
Wow.
one thing I'd want to do as well.
Wow. Okay. A full road trip around Australia, see all the iconic,
Yeah.
I guess, landmarks that we have to offer here. I've
Yep.
done that once
Exactly.
when I
What
was
did you?
12 years old, but only half. When
Uh,
we lived, as you know, born and bred in beautiful Melbourne and lovely little Warrandyte in the southeast. When we were in grade 5, my family took us with a caravan halfway around Australia, went up to sort of Townsville, across to Darwin, through Alice Springs, Adelaide, and
whoa.
back to Melbourne. So that was a good 6-week trip I was fortunate enough to have. But UA is basically that in one state. It's a
Yeah,
beast in
WA
itself.
is massive. Yeah.
It is. It is. So very lucky. It was a great trip. Didn't really recognize it at the time because it was just long hours in the car. But when you get to all those cool destinations and each parts of Australia, it's definitely worth it. Fantastic. And to close out for us, Martin, what would be one tip you'd give someone starting as an occupational therapist role at GenPhysio, whether they're a new grad or a experienced clinician? What is one tip you'd help them to settle in as a community OT?
So I'd say like take your reflections seriously. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn, and OT is like there's like a high ceiling of learning. So it's important to self-reflect every time for every session or like every mistake you made.
Rather than calling it a mistake, it's an opportunity
Yeah.
to learn. That's really important, right? To say that and to change the wiring in your head. And then, that comes with experience and growth over time. So fantastic. I know OTs or all clinicians would take benefit from that. Is there a particular way that you do that? Do you write perhaps in your learnings in a notebook? Do you just take time to reflect in between the trance music, in between clients, or how
Yeah.
do you how do you do that yourself and recommend that specifically to, say, OT that's new to the community?
So like first you start writing it, and then as you get better at it, you can start like processing through your head a lot faster. So like in between
Yeah.
clients, you start like having thoughts like what can I do next that can make it better for my clients. So it's just all about practice. The more practice you do, the better you get.
Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic. Great tip. Well, Martin, it's really good to have you on the Behind the Wheel podcast here at GenPhysio. Appreciate your time. I know you're very busy, and it's great to get some insights from you as a young but inspiring occupational therapist and passionate bodybuilder. So hopefully the rest of the day is smooth for you. And thank you again for coming on the podcast.
All right, thank you, Jordan. It's always lovely to talk to you.
Thank you. You too, Martin.
All right, see ya.